Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Datejust 31 in stainless steel with a white gold bezel, reference 278274. Pink diamond dial on an oyster bracelet, steel and white gold. I will tell you a little bit about the history of the Datejust, then tell you about where this watch stands in the lineup of other similar Datejusts, then tell you about the case bezel dial bracelet movement, finally try it on and give you my thoughts. So let's start with the history of the Datejust. The Datejust is one of Rolex's longest standing lines. It's their most numerous of their collection. They have the most number of variations. It's probably the most desirable and also the most iconic. And why did I say that? Well, because the price point is at the medium range for Rolex. Yes, they make cheaper ones in the name of Oyster Perpetual, and they make more expensive ones in date President watches and many others. The Datejust is their staple, their standard, if you can call Rolex a standard watch, and has the most number of variations that you can imagine because it can be worn by both men and women in almost every kind of situation, sporting, dress, etc. You can wear it and it matches almost everything. So the Datejust has been around for, I think, something like around 80 or 100 years by now. It's a very long time. It's evolved many ways since its inception, but the key factor that has always been pretty much the same is this fluted bezel that you see here and this similar oyster case that houses the movement and the dial and the bracelet. The bracelet has more or less been either a oyster bracelet that you see here or a Jubilee bracelet. So it's maintained its same basic look, although it's evolved a lot over the years. Okay, that's a little bit about the history. Now, let's move on to where this watch stands in the lineup. Now, this is a 31 millimeter Rolex, making the Datejust in size 28, 31, 36 millimeters for female. That comes out to small, medium, large. They're making it in size 36 and 41 for men. And so this being a 31 would be a mid-size for women. It's the most common size that a woman would likely wear because it's medium and it would fit most women. And rightfully so, because a medium-sized watch like this, it's perfect for most women because too big, it becomes too clunky and cumbersome. Too small, it becomes difficult to read. So most women opt to get one at midsize. And that's the reason why the midsize does the very best of all the Rolexes. Okay, or at least ladies' Rolexes, that is. And as far as the material, this one happens to be all stainless steel with a white gold bezel. Rolex is making them with a bunch of different combinations, as you can imagine. Steel and white gold, rose gold, yellow gold, white gold, all that. And in many different variations. But what you see here is the basic. It's not the cheapest, but it is a basic one, which is not a bad thing, which I'll tell you about when we talk about the case, but it is the entry level of the Datejust. Okay. The Datejust can go up in price. This one starts around, 10,000 retail and a little bit more. And the Datejust can go all the way to like $40,000-$50,000 in precious metal. Okay, now let's move on to the case. The case is 31 millimeters from my thumb to my index finger. As I said, it is a medium-sized watch. They make a smaller and a larger one. And if you look at side profile, it's a very nice, around 11 millimeters in terms of thickness, which is not too thick, not too thin. It's a very well-balanced watch. If you look at it, the profile, which is the height, as well as the diameter, complement each other very well. Not too thick, not too thin, not too big, not too small. So it's in my opinion, the standard size that all other watches kind of look to see if their watch is a midsize or not. Because Rolex, let's face it, is the king of watches. So for them to be the benchmark, it absolutely makes sense. Okay, anyways, that's the size. Now the case is, the oyster case is made out of stainless steel. And let's move on to the dial. The dial is a pink diamond dial here. It's very not, I won't say it's a very special dial, but it is a very nice dial. It's a pink dial. It is a sunray dial, and it has 10 diamonds going all the way around. Now Rolex sometimes makes the dial with Roman numerals, index. They make all sorts of different variations, and this one just happens to be with a pink diamond. And I think it looks very nice touch with it. It's not too much. It's not all blingy all over the case and bezel and all that, but it's still on the dial, and it makes the watch look feminine, but also still, very how would you say, luxurious still. Okay, and yeah, and diamond's a girl's best friend, right? So there you have it. And Rolex only chooses the best diamonds, D-color, internally flawless natural stones. All right. All right. Now let's move on to the bezel. The bezel is a fluted bezel. The fluted bezel is probably the most iconic part to the Rolex, aside from the crown. It's most recognizable, and it is what tells people that this actually is the Rolex, because people can recognize this fluted bezel. It's sort of like a knife edge or something. And in fact, it's so remarkable that they actually put it in white gold. And that's why it seems a little bit different color than the stainless steel that you see here, because it's in white gold. All right, that is the bezel. It actually used to serve a functional purpose. Now it just serves a aesthetic purpose, and it definitely serves that aesthetic purpose. As you can see, it looks very beautiful. Now let's move on to the bracelet. The bracelet here is using an oyster bracelet. You can choose either oyster or jubilee. The oyster is a little bit more sporty. The jubilee, which has 5-piece links across as opposed to 3, is a more dressy or classic look to it. Both are great. It just depends on what you want. This one happens to be an oyster. If you like the jubilee, you can also buy that at jazztime.com. Okay, let's move on to the movement. The movement is, I believe, a 2235 movement. It's an upgraded movement from the previous generation. It has I'm not actually sure what it has, to be honest. I'm sure it has something good. They don't show the movement. They don't really say a whole lot about it, and it's not like you can see the old one anyways, but I'm sure it's more accurate. Maybe it has a little more power reserve. I'm not really sure, but the point is, the last one was good. This one's good. Let's not worry too much about the movement. It's something you can see anyways. Now, look, I would try this watch on, but this is a lady's watch, so I'm just going to place it against my wrist. You can get an idea what it looks like, and I give you my thoughts. My thoughts are Rolex is the king. Datejust is an absolute must for those who love watches, and it can be worn in almost any circumstance, in dress, sport, you name it, casual, formal, doesn't matter. And it can never really go wrong. It holds its value incredibly, and it's a beautiful watch. And what is there not to like? So look, if you want to buy this watch, go click on the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.